good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be in the world. Thank you for joining me for another edition of the Truth Conductor Show. Boy, it is hot, 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 hot in DC. I'm talking about, let's see what they're saying now. See, we broke 100 today, man. We broke 100. It is 99 degrees right now. Feels like the temps could hit 110 degrees in DC. Can you imagine not having no air condition and that kind of heat, just fans? Imagine that. And you wonder why people are so upset and why they angry. But you don't consider stuff that they might be dealing with. Which brings me to my topic. Is trust an issue for you? I mean, seriously, is trust an issue for you? Do you do you find that it's difficult to trust people? And some of them you don't even know. Some you don't even know them, but you put up that shield. And this is one of the problems, I think, not only in America but the world, is people just don't know who to trust, and the people that they do trust are the ones that end up jacking them, messing them over. Because they, what's going on, Edward? Thank you for joining me, man. You first one up in here. Um, so I think about it, man. I mean, I think subconsciously, okay, if you have reasonable boundaries in your force them, they're respected. You don't have to worry too much about trust. Hey, JD, thank you for joining me. Well, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Know about that, Ed, because um, folk are tricky now, man. They come. Hey man, hold on a second here. They come with all kind of tricks and gimmicks and you name it. What's up? Thank you, Wayne, for joining me. Um, but they come with all kind of tricks and gimmicks, man. You see, and this is one of the things that has eroded, trust in us. And yeah, let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. See, this is what people don't want to acknowledge or even uh say is a possibility. The way Black Lives matter fucked over all that money they got. Now it's difficult for a black person to even get a chance. Because the first thing they say, well, what you gonna do with the money? Without even giving you a chance. And we talking about $1. If I give you $1, what you gonna do with the money? Who is it gonna benefit? It's gonna benefit me. It's my idea. Seriously. But them people don't know me from Adam. But yet they call it there is a trust issue. See, and that's why I keep saying good people are afraid of other good people because they don't know who to trust. Now tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. I got what, 6 people up in here? Tell me I'm lying. And I know 4 of y'all incognito, but it's all good. It's all good. But see, people don't want people see, and now we talking about accountability. When you start dealing with trust, you got to hold yourself accountable. You can't shift that off on nobody else. This is your decision. And remarkably, you learn from your mistakes. Well, you should learn from your mistakes. But look at how many people are afraid to make a mistake because they worried about what people gonna think, what they gonna say, and they end up talking themselves out. I should have asked, do you trust yourself? That's the question that I should have asked. Do you trust yourself? I mean, seriously, think about it. Do you trust yourself? Right now, if you stumble upon $1 million, would you trust yourself? You go and check your bank account and you see all them zeros in your account now, and you count that as a blessing from God, and go buck wild crazy spending that money and knowing damn well yesterday you was in the red, and today you got thousands of dollars in your account, and you're too scared to pick up and say, hey, did somebody make a mistake? You ain't gonna pick the phone up. See, that's the right thing to do. Say, hey, wait a minute. What's going on with my account? Where all this money come from? Before I unleash all my desires. Well, yeah, y'all, where this come from? See, that's the question. Do you trust yourself? Because if you trusted yourself, then you wouldn't worry about trusting nobody else. Because even if they came upon you all smiling and grinning, man, you still would feel that fakery. You feel it. You would feel it. See, that's why you don't take shit personally. Because when you start personalizing it, then you start numbing yourself. You can't really you're not really using your intuition. You're not going with the flow. See, that's what the problem is, man. And that's all over the world. It's a trust issue. And it stems from people not trusting themselves. So if they don't trust themselves, then they don't think nobody else is capable of being trustworthy. And then the ones they do think are trustworthy are the ones that let them down. Now you got a bunch of injured sheep that's jumping from pillar to post trying to find a healing. It's a trust issue, man. That's it in a nutshell. It's a trust issue. And that's what it boils down to. That's what all this confusion and all this chaos is boiling down to trust. That's what it's boiling down to. Okay? It would say you have to really be self-aware in order not to take it personally. Well, yeah, you do. It's possible. It's possible. That is very. Oh, I'm finna add a circle. I'm finna add a wrinkle. I'm finna add a wrinkle. Um, let's see here. Oh no, not that. Not that. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's this phone. Yeah, that's this phone. That's wrong. That's the wrong message. And don't call that number, cause oh, you won't be able to get through no way, cause I got that one blocked. I got that one blocked. Here we go. Here we go. Man, I got okay. So I finally removed um, unknown calls from being blocked on the phone. So if you wanna talk, call me and I put it on speakerphone and we'll be able to talk on the live. That's how I'm gonna do that. Okay. If you wanna talk, give me a call on that number right there. Give me a call. Give me a call. Give me a call. And we'll talk. We'll talk. That's what I do. That's exactly how I'm gonna do it. Okay. See, and see, and let me show you something. Now YouTube need a talk button on this. They should have a talk button on this thing. But now that they don't have a talk button, well, I got two phones. Well, why don't I use one of my phones? And just make it like a talk show. You want to call in? Call in. And I put you on speakerphone and let you have your piece. Let you say what you gotta be respectful, be nice, you know. But yeah, but see, and this is again, this boils down to that word again, trust. And people always seem to be putting their trust in the wrong situation or the wrong person, because nobody ever taught them how to trust. See, we don't deal with that. We think that's supposed to come automatically, and it doesn't. Because I mean, you never. Sometimes if you're on the subway, man, just take a look at some of the people that be around you, and some of those people, man. I mean, they look like they dealing with a lot. They're dealing with a whole lot. And then something come along and make them snap, and now we got a big a brouhaha that wasn't even necessary. Wasn't even necessary. See, we gotta do better with each other, man. We really do. And that is not something somebody else is somebody else. That's your responsibility. That's what you gonna have to do. You gonna have to check yourself. And see, and once you start making enough mistakes, you'll learn from that. When you see it coming, man, I done been down this road too many times before. I ain't interested.
You know, that's like walking down the street and you know, a homeless person will run up to you, can I ask you something? No, I ain't interested. Cause I know behind that is some bullshit. I learned that from experience. So you come up, ask me, excuse me, can I ask you something? Nope, not interested. And keep it moving. Keep it moving. Ain't no debate, ain't no nothing. I ain't interested. Because I've learned in the past when I have entertained that very same response, I've always regretted it. You know, always some drama. So I learned from that. So when I see it now, I don't even hesitate. And I ain't feeling no kind of way either. You ain't gonna make me feel bad. You ain't gonna make me feel guilty. Cause I know the game. And that's what we got to work on is, you know, work on your trust, man. And the first person that you got to deal with is you. Can you really be trusted? When ain't nobody looking? Let me say that again. Can you really be trusted when ain't nobody looking? Ain't nobody around? Can you really be trusted? And that ain't easy to either. It ain't easy, man. Ain't easy at all. Ain't easy at all. Cause you got so many different facets out here that you got to deal with. You know, that's where the issue comes. All the different facets that you have to face on a daily basis to try to figure out what's what. Um, Let me see something here. Okay, Beth, say we need to get back to God in the Bible. Beth, we need to get back to God in lives. Devil knows the Bible, but see, everybody talking God, but they ain't living God. And this is where the problem is. Everybody talking about God and scared to speak to each other, but you ain't living it. And see, and this is we're back to trust again because you've had so many people. Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I saw that. That's just the beginning, Steve. That's just what I told him. That's just the beginning, buddy. That's just the beginning. Shoot, you getting ready? You getting ready to go through some doozies because you think all that hatred and division that you've been spewing out, you got a pass. You ain't got no pass. That stuff catching up with you. And he think it's funny until they knock him on his butt for real. Yeah, yeah, I saw him. I saw him. Well, see, all churches, God ain't in them churches, man. Just cause you form a church and don't mean God there. You got a whole lot of people confessing God, and God ain't nowhere near. God ain't nowhere near these places, man. But they got them people brainwashed. They kidding themselves. So I don't know. But we'll find out though. We sure will. Cause it's getting ready, stuff getting ready to hit the fan, whether y'all want to believe it or not. And this is one of the reasons you need to be trying to get right so you can have a place of refuge. Okay? Oh, that's the second time? Oh, it's coming again. It's coming again. It's coming again. It's coming again. But see, those are the warning signs that sometimes people ignore. See, that's the warning that he didn't ignore. So God done tried to warn you. Get this thing right. I'm not pleased. Get it right. And you don't want to get it right. What you think God gonna do? Turn you over to your damnation? Because he done gave you chance after chance after chance, and you still don't wanna. You still don't want to do right. You still want to still do the same thing, but you expect him to have sympathy because you can't break the cycle. But you can break anything that you want to break. If you want to, you can break it. But when you're looking for sympathy, when you're looking for attention, see, that's when you have your pity party. Something got to give, man. Something got to give. And you can see how fast time, man, this month gone. This month is gone. And it seemed like it just got here and it's gone. Look how fast time is speeding up. It's speeding up, man. And that tells you ain't got much to waste. See, that's what a lot of folk taking for granted, thinking they got time to waste, and you don't. But see, you don't want to hear nothing like that because now your soul is convicted. But how many chances are you supposed to get? Think about it. How many? Matter of fact, do you trust God? There are a lot of Christians right now ain't trusting God. Christians, blood washed, blood, whatever, all that blood they got on them, and they still ain't trusting God. What do you do with people like that? How many chances do you get? See, that's the question. How many chances do you get? it's hot. It is hot, 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 hot. I got me some cold watermelon too. I got me a cold watermelon. Yes, indeed. Cut that joint up. Put it in the refrigerator. So let me get that straight now. Yeah, but no, this is what it boils down to, y'all. Trust. It all boils down to trust. People don't know how to trust each other now. Isn't that a commentary? People don't know how to trust no more. They really don't, and they want to. That's the incredible thing. They really want to trust. They just don't know how. Don't know who. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. But see, you don't want a voice like this. Mm-mm. You want somebody to tickle your ears, make you feel good, not convict you. And this is what wrong, man. We too afraid to convict people. Right is right. Wrong is wrong. I don't care who you are. If you're wrong, you're wrong. And there shouldn't be no excuses for it either. Ain't got nothing to do with party, ain't got nothing to do with the right, the left, the conservative, the liberal. No, right is right, wrong is wrong. Period. And that's what we got to get back to. Right now, right is wrong, wrong is right. And we're the only ones that can change it. We're the only ones. But you're going to have to be held accountable. And that's what we don't want to do. We want to pacify each other, baby each other. That's the problem. And then when adversity comes, you can't handle the pressure, you up and run. You quit. You throw in the towel. Because you can't handle the pressure. I mean, if you believe in yourself, why quit on yourself? If you really say you believe in yourself, why throw in the towel? Something ain't working. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. Now let me answer this. Let's see who we got. Hey, Edward. Wait a minute. Hold on a second here. Hold on. I gotta unplug my. Gotta unplug my things here. Hold on. All right, here we. Let me put you on speaker. Hold on. Here we go. All right, Edward. All right, got you now, brother. Got you. There you go.
Appreciate you taking my call, sir.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you for taking the time.
Wanted to see if I could get the ball rolling here. I was going to play devil's advocate.
Okay.
See if we can get you.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that, man.
First thing I wanted to say is, I'm 61 years old. So you and I come from a different generation where moral compass, regardless of religion, was a whole lot more different than what it is today. Today, everybody's moral compass. It's more about being selfish and getting things real microwavable and everything. So when you say it's a trust issue, that's really true, because in order to trust, you can't really be selfish either. And this new generation is very, very selfish.
But who taught them that?
Our internet.
Okay.
Because, like I say, you and I are old school, and sometimes I still have to, get at nieces and nephews. They're just on a whole different wavelength, and a lot of them in social media and the regular media. But like I say, the trust issue is going to be a whole lot harder for them, because they're just so much more selfish.
But do you think we will be able to get back to the trust?
Certain people will be able to, but we have to have a cultural change here in America. Over in other countries, their culture allows them not to be as selfish. You have a whole lot of community property, and some cultures you don't own no personal property. You know what I'm saying? So it's an American thing, and I don't know if we'll ever get back to it. That's a good question.
All right. Man, thank you, brother.
No problem. Like I said, I'll be hitting you back. When you first asked for callers, I was eating me some baked chicken and brown rice. But I said, let me go.
All right, brother.
But I've been fooling with you since 2019, and you haven't let me down yet, sir. I appreciate you.
Thank you, brother.
All right. Y'all have a good
evening
there.
All right, bye. There you go. That's my first call. So if you want to call, hey, man, the number is on the screen. 202-320-4336. Give me a call. And you can call me from a block number. I even let unknown calls come in now. Because I don't have a trust issue. And you want to call from an unknown number, you got a trust issue. The internet just hear your voice. Only I see your number. I'm the only one that see you calling me. You ain't calling them. I'm just letting them in on our conversation. But you got to call me from a block number. That's all I'm saying. And have the nerve to want to throw some stones. Just created a profile. And you want to come up in here throwing stones. And you fake from the very beginning. Because it's a trust issue. That's a problem I have with. I got one person, I don't know who it is. Well, I do know who it is. Oh, Jimmy. But just, as fast as I block them, they go make another profile. Make it up. Just so they can come back up in here. It's a trust thing, man. And if I'm wrong, tell me. Tell me I'm wrong. Just like 5 years ago, I said, stop hating each other because you disagree. And here it is, 5 years later, it's finally catching on. But what if I didn't have the stamina, the wherewithal to say, man, I'm going to hang in with this message. Come hell, high water, no water at all. This is the answer. And people might not embrace it. I'm going to just keep riding it until they do embrace it. If it don't, I went down trying. Try something else. That's all. Can't be afraid to try. When you're afraid to try, you don't trust yourself. There we go, back to trust again. When you're afraid to try, you don't trust yourself. And you'll find right now most folks struggle trusting themselves. They struggle with it. They don't want to admit it, but they do. That's why they don't trust nobody else. They can't trust themselves. If you think I'm lying, just try to trust yourself. And see, don't you stop being doubtful of other people. That's where it starts. Trusting yourself. And this is the one thing people ain't talking about. They got all the other drama going on, but they ain't say, man, trust yourself. Stop all this crap. Trust yourself first. Then we'll move to other people. That's one of the problems I have with the so-called philanthropy in the rest of the world, but in your backyard is messed up. Why don't you help the people that's in your neighborhood first? And then branch out to other people. Start at home first. But no, we start abroad. You know, I've been seeing this young man all over social media that's in Thailand. And he's talking about how good it is that he ain't got to pay the struggle in America, but he can go to Thailand and make it. How come you can't do the same thing here? Why you can't make it here? Why you got to go to another country? Why you can't make it in America? Good question, True Conductor. Mm-hmm. Hey, Tanya, thank you for joining me. But it's a trust issue, man. And see, and the solution, we got to rebuild the families. If we can just get families to start talking to one another now and stop fighting and bickering and arguing, you know, and get back in compassion and love, we can change this madness overnight. But that's where it's going to have to start, with the family. And what's the one thing that is under attack in America is the family. And that's what we need to save, the family. Sit down and have this painful, ugly, uncomfortable conversation, and let's get it over with. Let's just get it over with so we can move on. But right now, everybody want to talk at each other, but nobody want to talk to each other. As long as you're talking at each other, you're going to stay angry. You're going to stay upset. There would be no consensus. But when you start talking to each other, now you're getting somewhere. And that's what we got to do. And see, you can't be ashamed or afraid to be repetitious. Let me say that again. You can't be ashamed or afraid to be repetitious. Because as long as you keep saying it, eventually it's going to sink in. But if you have a problem with being repetitious, then how are you going to be successful? Oh, let me ask that question again. If you have a problem with being repetitious, how are you going to be successful? Where it's going to come from? There's a story in the Bible where this woman kept going before this judge. Finally, the judge said, "Look, lady, I don't believe in God. I don't even believe in your God. But I'm gonna give you what you want so that you can leave me alone." But she was just a repetitious person. And see, sometimes that's how you got to do success, man. Even when success knock you on your ass, you got to get back up and get back in the game. Okay? Well, we we don't really have any black leaders, Elwood. We have a bunch of people that are out for themselves. That's why they're still in leadership after all these years. That's why they don't. That's why they don't groom other people. They don't groom young people. They don't pass the torch. They die with the torch. Or be forced out. You know? But we gotta do for self, man. Gotta do for self. You gotta, again, it goes back to trust. And most of the time, we do trust the wrong people. And when you start getting that hurt, look at the amount of Christians right now that's dealing with church hurt. Trust. Look at the amount of Christians that are dealing with church hurt. Okay? And that's why they jumping from congregation to congregation. Because they dealing with hurt. Get disappointed. And most churches are just generational businesses. Stuff that's going to be passed down to their children and their grandchildren. That's what church has become. And believe it or not, it was the pandemic that exposed church. That's what exposed church. The pandemic. Church ain't been the same since the pandemic. Look at it. It ain't been the same. Ain't been the same. But we're still dealing with a lot of hurt. A lot of disappointment. And then when you get to the point where you can't trust the preacher, right? Look at the teachers and that's molesting students, police officers that are corrupt. Trust. You don't expect for people to do right by you. Trust. Look at how they dealing with some of these people that they think are immigrants now. Trust. It's all about trust. And that's what we're lacking. And nobody's addressing it. Nobody's addressing the trust issue. That's what it is, trust. Yeah. All the millions of dollars that the church that he done made on that church, you know? I mean, like I said, the church has not been the same since the pandemic. Not been the same. Look at who did T.D. Jakes pass his ministry down to? His daughter, who's with her second husband. Okay? Who's with her second husband. And she's now responsible for the congregation. Told you. These ministries now are nothing but family dynasties. That's all they are. It ain't about the word of God. Whatever little word you get along the way, you lucky. But it's about maintaining that stronghold. And that stronghold is your tithes and offering. Trust. That's the issue right now. People don't know who to trust. They want to, but they're afraid to. Because so much stuff is not real now, man. And now you got AI in the game. Oh, God. It's all about trust, y'all. And if you don't trust yourself, you ain't gonna trust nobody else. All right? I think that's what I'm gonna start focusing on. Dealing with this trust issue that we have in the community. Because there's good and bad in everybody. You know, there's good and bad in everybody. I had this guy the other day. Listen to what he sent me. This is what he sent me. Everett, thank you for the $50, brother. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is what the guy told me the other day. He said, hold on a second. The ex-Carrie made the channel June the 14th, 2025. This is what? June the 24th, 10 days ago. Okay? But this is what he said. Your lives are so boring, even Bernie has stopped showing up. I don't blame him. And my reply was, I got nothing but love for Bernie because he was there when I needed him. That was my response. Okay? Ain't no trust issue for me. Not a trust issue, man. Not a trust issue at all. And a lot of y'all need to examine why do I have this trust issue? Why? Okay? All right, y'all. Man, enjoy. It's hot. It's hot. Boy, it's hot. This watermelon was good, too. I'm sitting here, relaxed, chill. Just didn't feel like the shirt and tie thing, man. When I, this hot weather is a mother. It's hot, man. I mean, it's hot. I was out there for a little while. So I'm going in because ain't no sense in me, punishing myself like this. For what? I get sick, but people don't care about, what happens to you. All they're concerned about is, what they enjoy. Your welfare is not important. That's why it has to be important to you. Because it ain't important to nobody else until they need something. Then they be all up in your behind. All right, y'all. Have a great day. See you later.